Runs, 1 earned in 8 innings, 5 hits, a walk, 11 strikeouts, and no decision. And Chatagnier greets him with a long drive deep down the left field line. It is hooking, and it is foul.
Yeah, he kind of went to homework on him. Wants to try to get ahead with the fastball and hit the first fastball way out of here.
By the way, last night the wind was blowing in at 20 to 25 straight in from left field. That is not the case tonight. It's really blowing more toward the left field corner, so it's blowing out tonight versus in last night. 1-1. That's lifted down the left field line once again. And Ritchie, in front of the warning track, records the first out.
And I'm sure all the hitters, came out today with a smile on their face. And in this ballpark, Dave, you can't miss that flag in right field corner. I mean, that's going to tell you, whether you get a chance to hit a fly ball out of here. Last night, there were a couple balls hit late in that game that might have left the yard with a friendly breeze going out. But it was a pitcher's delight night. The wind blew in.
First pitch in there to Logan Maxwell.
I don't think we'll see a 1-0 ball game again today, Dave. Not in this yard.
Maxwell was 0 for 3 last night. But Maxwell did draw a walk. One ball, 2 strikes.
And there's the curveball. One thing about Brian, he's going to come out and establish all his pitches early.
2-2.
And he had him bent over on the curveball. Came back in with the fastball in. Maybe with the hitter leaning over, it looks in. That ball got a lot of home plate on the inside corner.
Maxwell swings and misses. Carter to bring him in. There's 2 away.
Then he drops the curveball right back in the same area, and you got to swing at it. And this guy's on top of the plate right here, so that fastball in, that's going to be a weapon. And the guy on the mound tonight for Oklahoma State, he can pitch to corners. He can pitch up. He can pitch down. And he can show you, there's your slider. There's a different breaking ball.
0-1 to Curtis Byrne. 4 home runs, leads the TCU lineup tonight.
Curtis has been around. I mean, this isn't anything new to him, and a really well-established hitter. I'm sure they got a book on him that be careful in, and especially tonight.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
He pulled that curveball a little bit.
TCU picking up just its 2nd conference win last night after a 1-5 start. Oklahoma State 1-3 in conference play. Base is empty, 2 out.
There's that curveball.
As Byrne strike had, he's given up 6 home runs in just 23 innings of work, including 3 in his first start against Florida Gulf Coast.
Well, he's not a real high velocity guy. He's kind of a pitcher. There's 92, and he's over the top, Dave. He's one of those guys that sometimes you see him good, but over the top they pick up different kinds of movement.
0-2 to Kroll.
And again, that's a repeated 92, and both of them have a little extra jump at the end, kind of like a little bit of a rise in it. It's just rare to see a guy straight over the top like this.
And Kroll strikes out on 3 pitches.
Yeah, that breaking ball right there. Now that he's got a little tail on his curveball, but that's a good one. And maybe the best pitch to throw if you're going to throw up over the top.
Carson Benj was 0 for 2 last night, drew a pair of walks.
I thought what was so impressive last night, Dave, was totally, as the game went along, he got better. His arm looked livelier. This guy's already moving a radar gun up.
That's lined into left center, and that's headed toward the gap for extra bases. Benj around first. He'll be into second, standing with a 1-out double.
And it's kind of a thing, Dave. You want a guy in a 2-hole that could pick up the 1-hole. If the 1-hole doesn't get on, that 2-hole's got to have a doubles type power. Benj is that perfect guy, and he can really run. Maybe right there you try to run that into a triple. You'd like to get to third base tonight with less than 2 outs.
So here's Nolan Schubert, who pinch hit in the 8th last night and hit the ball very hard to dead center, but with the wind blowing in, it did not leave the ballpark.
Yes, it's good to see the big guy back in the lineup. I mean, he was in the lineup Tuesday night. That last night with him not in it, you kind of look around going, you know, where's the big bopper at? And again, another one of those sophomores that had a big freshman year last year. Everybody knows who he is. No secret.
Freshman All-American, as a matter of fact. Schubert missed roughly 3 weeks after being injured on February 27th at Dallas Baptist and just returned on Tuesday against Missouri State. 1 out and a runner at second. It's 1-2 to Schubert.
And you can see with all the guys that are your power guys, they got a little bit of that extra lift in their swing. And this guy pitches up with the fastball. And he's going to throw the ball right through some of the loops.
2-2 to Schubert.
What's so amazing, this is game like 22, 23. It has playoff atmosphere.
Oh, it does. Good crowd.
Both of these clubs expect to be in Omaha on a yearly basis. And I'll tell you what, this series coming in, it was marked on both calendars.
Good crowd on hand. It's been another somewhat chilly day in Stillwater. Temperature just above 60 for a high today. Students are still on spring break, but a good crowd nonetheless. 3-2 pitch to Schubert, and he fouls that away.
The guys that you need to perform when you come off of a shutout are the guys that you build your lineup around. Shuby and Benj, those two guys right now, they're gonna have to handle this right-hander.
Benj at second, 1 away. Here's another full count pitch to Schubert. That's ball 4, first and second, 1 out.
Tell you what, that's a ball, and it is on the chalk, but it's a strike if he moves it over a couple balls. But a 3-2 changeup to be that close, that's pitching. And again, you mentioned it's 60 degrees. That's good pitching weather. Now, maybe later on when it jumps down into the 50s, you don't quite have that feel. You don't have that grip. But this is pitchable weather right now.
So first and second for Aiden Miola, who was hitless last night.
There's the curveball.
Miola, the Cowboys' leading hitter at .368 on the year. Hitting with runners at first and second and 1 out in the first.
Ooh. Tough pitch to hit right there.
It's 2-1.
The spin on the curveball is really, really good. I mean, he's getting that 12-6 action. This isn't that slider that turns into a sweeper. This is a legitimate curveball.
2-2.
There's the fastball right on the outside corner. Way too good to take it. You got to go get it.
You see Benj at second, Schubert's at first, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Miola fouls that away right side. Stays 2-2.
Boy, the pace is absolutely perfect. I mean, you can tell the guys in the TCU dugout know a little bit about pitching. I mean, this is it's a get the ball and let's go. No thinking.
And Miola shoots that into left field. That's a base hit. Benj rounding third. He'll score easily. It's an RBI single for Aiden Miola, and it's 1-0 Oklahoma State in the first.
As well as he pitched to the corners and stayed away, he comes right in the middle right here, and Aiden Miola makes him pay for it. That ball's right in the middle, and he hammered.
So first and second, 1 out, a run in. That's the first run for Oklahoma State in the series. Colin Ritchie, who had a tough night last night, struck out 3 times, was 0 for 3. Will hit with runners at first and second. And Ritchie hits that deep to left center field, back to the track, back to the wall. It's gone! A 3-run homer for the freshman Colin Ritchie. Number 4 of the year, and it's a 4-0 Oklahoma State lead in the first.
Wow, you know, you're thinking game 22. It's time to see if the freshmen are growing up fast enough. And he takes one the opposite field, out of the park, no doubt. He knew it when he got it.
So that's the 7th home run surrendered by Cole Klecker of TCU this season. And Ritchie, who struck out in all 3 at-bats last night, redeems himself with a first-inning 3-run homer.
Yeah, no shutout tonight.
First pitch fouled away by Wolford.
And you do wonder about the personality of your ball club, Dave, when you dump a Friday night game at home, you get shut out. Pretty good answer.
1 away here in the first. 1-1 to Wolford. Obviously last night Peyton Tolley worked a complete game, so TCU did not have to go to its bullpen. So everyone should be available tonight. The 1-1 to Wolford. That's fouled away. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
And there's your first, off-speed pitch. And he's a little bit jacked up on the mound. That home run will probably settle him down, and you'd like to, have him knock off 2 or 3 innings now that he's had an ugly first.
And Wolford strikes out. There's 2 gone.
But what Tolley did last night is he saved their whole bullpen. So they don't have to wait much longer. If he doesn't find that edge, and again, that ball's over the middle of the plate. He got Wolford out in the strike zone.
So Colin Brighamon, who went 0 for 4 last night, will bat with the bases empty and 2 away, but 4 runs home for Oklahoma State in the first. Oh, 0-2.
Now he's got the book, and he's pitching to it. That's 2 fastballs, both the 92 range, both in. One thing Klecker might want to try is he's getting to 2 strikes, but stay out of the middle. Make him chase. Don't give him the ball in the middle after you get 2 strikes.
And Brighamon strikes out, but Oklahoma State scores 4. 2 home runs in just 37 at bats for Tolley.
It's not a bat speed swing. It's one of those swings where if he gets it, he's going to jar it.
It's 0-2. You know, and this is a rare occasion where Brian Holiday is pitching with a substantial lead.
Yeah, I can't remember a time during the season where he's had that luxury.
Tolley strikes out on 3 pitches to start the second.
And it's almost like a old-fashioned waist pitch right here. He throws the slider down, or that might have even been the curveball. He shortened it up a little bit. He throws the knuckle curve, Dave, and anybody that's ever seen a knuckle curve, most hitting instructors sit there and go, we can't read the spin on it. And he really does it well. He throws it really well. We had a guy named Pat Hope that won, God, I don't know, 14 games one year for us. And he threw the knuckle curve, and he only threw about 86 mile an hour. But I'm telling you, the knuckle curve was unhittable. And everybody, when games were over, would say, Coach, what kind of breaking ball is that? Our hitters can't see the spin. They can't pick it up.
1-1 to Anthony Silva. 1 out in the second. Did he go? He did not. 2-1.
And you could almost see his finger humped up on the ball. If you watch him when he comes out of his glove, now you're not going to see it until he comes out of the glove. When that finger's up, it's the curveball. Fastball.
And it's 2-2. Last night, Silva drove in the only run on a sac fly in the second. It was an unearned run. It was all TCU needed in a 1-0 win.
Oh, boy.
That gets away, goes back to the screen, and it'll be a strikeout. But Silva reaches with 1 out.
It's almost like he got the catcher's mitt, but no, that's just a muff. I mean, it's a strikeout, but
Cowboys made 3 errors last night. Consecutive errors on bunt plays led to the only run of the game, which was unearned. That's a pass ball and a strikeout.
Dave, there's so many unwritten rules in baseball, and people that coach the game or hang around the ballpark, some of them are funny. Some of them you're like, are you serious? Well, you know, one thing about catching, you never let a ball get in your mask. What I mean by that is don't catch the ball in your mask. Always rise up in your feet. And that strikeout, that ball got right in his mask, and he muffed it. It got the glove. He just lost it.
1-0 to Ryder Robinson. Went 0 for 4 last night. Silva's at first, 1 out in the second. So we mentioned this last night. TCU has a run of 31 consecutive successful stolen base attempts against Oklahoma State. Cowboys haven't thrown out a TCU base stealer since 2019, but how much do the dynamics change when you're down 4-0?
Well, yeah, you don't want to give up any outs, but if you start getting into a roll like last night you were almost thinking throughout that ball game, somebody better steal a base, better get somebody in scoring position. So if coach doesn't like what he's seeing offensively, he may go to the running game just to try to shake it up.
That's chopped into the TCU dugout, 1-1.
I know the numbers aren't what they normally are for them, but there's not a guy in a batting order that has bad stolen base numbers. So they know what they're doing.
Well, Silva at first is 6 out of 7 on steals this year. So he is the threat.
And with Brian Holiday throwing a legitimate curveball, that's the pitch to run on. I've got to believe, Dave, some of the numbers, 31 in a row and all that Oklahoma State's made some adjustments coming into this series on their picks.
There's a throw to second. Not in time. It's a stolen base. The first of this series.
Yep, got to give this one to the runner. He did it. You got a slide step on the mound. Throw, not great, but not overly bad either, but into the runner.
Two-1 to Robinson. He lifts that out to center. Kroll makes a play. Runner tags. Heads toward third. And Silva's in there. He'll be at third with 2 out.
That's good base running. That's doing your homework right there. He ran on the center fielder's arm, but that base isn't that valuable with 2 outs.
So there you see the run now. Oklahoma State hasn't thrown out a TCU base stealer in 5 years. But there's 2 away, though. And Brunson at the plate to try to keep the rally going here in the second.
Now your catcher has to work hard right here. There's been several balls in this series thrown in the dirt. It'd be horrible to have another strikeout and score a run right here.
0-2.
You got to make them earn it. And you're almost anticipating the curveball right here, right now.
0-2 to Brunson, who scored the only run of the game last night.
Slider.
Silva at third, 2 away.
You see, there's the curveball. Right now, the temptation at 1 and 2 is to throw the curveball hard down, strike him out. But with that guy at third base, you're a little reluctant to do that.
That's popped up foul, third base side by Brunson, out of play. Stays 2-2.
But I hate to say this. If you feel like you can't get this guy out without it, then you got to throw it, and your catcher's got to do his job.
Struck him out. 5 strikeouts in 2 innings. The presence of the transfers in the Big 12, as far as pitching is concerned, is interesting. And that's lined into center field by Forsythe, and that's a leadoff single for Oklahoma State here in the second.
Well, think about it, Dave. You really can't carry too many position players because you can't keep them happy. You never have too many arms. So with the expansion of the rosters and pitchers, if they don't get enough innings, they jump in the portal. And the Big 12 has been, they've been active in the portal. And some of them very, very good.
So here's a freshman, Charlie Carter. Squares and pulls it back. It's 1-0. You know, Carter just 2 for 26 at the plate. We were talking to Josh Holliday earlier this week. He says, hey, he's making progress as a hitter, but we're also trying to do some things to make him feel like he's making a major contribution, bunting and things of that nature, so that as he continues to go through the development process, he's offering something positive to help the team.
Positive at bats.
Yes.
Team at bats. And you know, the more he sees it, the more he works at it, the better he'll get with the bat.
Carter bunts that foul, 2-1.
He needs to move the runner right here. This is one of those cases, Dave, where you go ahead and bunt all the way through. Even if you bunt with 2 strikes, you just bunt straight through. You're going to get it done. Make up your mind. They're not even cheating way in on him. If he gets a good bunt down, he may end up getting rewarded with a base hit.
Forsythe at first after a leadoff single. Pops up that bunt behind the plate. An attempt made, a diving attempt made by Byrne, but it falls. It's 2-2. So you go ahead and bunt here.
I think so. I mean, I don't want him hitting into a double play.
Right.
Now you're going to get a hammer right here. He's going to throw him a hard breaking ball. Try to strike him out.
Called strike 3, and there's 1 away.
I wish I could say I saw the signal, but I didn't. You just feel it coming. Yep, that's a strike. His breaking ball has a little tail on it. It's a downward breaker. It's about a 1 o'clock to 7 o'clock curveball.
Kroll struck out to start the game. Oh, and 1 to Kroll. Well, let me say this. Kroll has been a big hit academically, named one of the top 5 seniors at Oklahoma State in the Department of Management Science and Information Systems, one of Oklahoma State's seniors of significance. And he lines that into left center, and that's down for a base hit. Forsythe around second. He'll go to third. A 1-out single by Jackson Kroll. It's first and third with 1 away here in the second.
That's good hitting right there. He did not try to pull that pitch. He stayed back really well, let the ball get deep on him, and pushed it the other way for a base hit. Now Charlie Carter's got to be sitting in the dugout thinking, you know what, I'll get the bunt down every time the rest of my life, because that's sometimes that shows you the hard way. You know, like, darn it, you know, I got to get that bunt down. And
so here's Carson Benj, who doubled and scored in the 4-run first. Cowboys on the verge of having another significant inning. It's 0-1 to Benj.
And right here with 1 out, I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to running. Get out of the double play. You got a good contact hitter at the plate. And you got a guy that can run it first.
There is activity now in the TCU bullpen. And again, TCU got a complete game from Peyton Tolley last night.
That's a borderline strike right there. I think that's up. You know, Benji has a little bit of a habit of almost ducking pitches because he hits out of his legs. See how he's bent right there? That can make that pitch look different.
2-2 to Benj. Forsythe at third, Kroll at first. Each have singles here in the Oklahoma State second. One away. The throw to first, and Kroll is back. Called strike 3. And there's 2 away.
Kind of ran that ball up and in on him. And again, as he sets the hit, he starts open and he goes to closed. Sometimes that makes that ball look in. Of course, we have the benefit of a monitor, and that ball probably caught the inside corner. And the umpire's making a statement. You know, he's going to go with the corners.
Schubert walked and scored in the first. He hits with runners at first and third and 2 out here in the second. This is a big at bat, and he fouls that away.
You got Klecker at 42 pitches, Dave, in the second inning. This is what we saw last night with Garcia. You know, his pitch count after 2 was 45 pitches. You start thinking, this could be an early departure. But if Klecker can get out of this one, you might get a little second wind.
Nicely blocked by Byrne. It's 1-1.
You'd have to believe that with Benj and Schubert coming first and third, 1 out, that you feel good about, maybe tacking on another run or two.
Kroll at first and Forsythe at third. 2 out here in the second.
It's a good combo to pull a double steal. Forsythe can run. Kroll can run. Slow curveball. Now you're beating yourself up thinking we should have run. We should have run right there.
I understand that. And it's 3-1 to Schubert. Aiden Miola, who delivered Cowboys' first run with a single, is on deck. 3-1. 3-2.
Good breaking ball. Not a big curveball that time. A little bit tighter, a little shorter.
Runners will take off with the pitch. First and third, 2 out. There they go. And that's ball 4. The bases are loaded with 2 out for Aiden Miola.
Tell you what, Klecker might have got away with the balk right there. He never stopped. Well, there wasn't a distinct stop in his set. Watch his hands right here, Dave. Tell me if you think he stopped. Yeah. From that angle, yeah, a little bit more than what I saw.
And Miola, first pitch, lifts that into right center. Myers makes a play, and Oklahoma State leaves the bases.
Considerations.
First pitch, and Myers.
He got in and jammed him and
Hits it into right, and Benj records the first out. 1 pitch, 1 out.
down 4. And I mean, I've been around this game for about 130 years, and I don't know that I've worked with too many people, but I can tell you one thing. I know one guy, when you're down 4 and you hit the first pitch, you better hit it out of the yard, or you're going to sit on the pine for a little while and think about it. That you have to somehow, some way, try to make Brian Holiday pitch a little bit, waste some pitches. If you don't do anything, then if you don't win this game, you want to make Oklahoma State use their bullpen.
Absolutely, because the Cowboys only used one pitcher from the bullpen last night. Kranz worked the last 2 innings because Garcia gave Oklahoma State 7 innings in the start. Now 0-2 to Bowen, so that was significant.
Yeah, and you know, we know Tolley was a star last night. That was fun to watch. But Oklahoma State's starting pitcher last night was pretty darn good. You know, Sam Garcia should have slept pretty well last night.
Bowen strikes out, and that's 6 strikeouts for Holiday, and there's 2 out in the third.
And Dave, this is why this kid can really pitch. He's been 91, 92. Then he gets into 2 strikes, your look curveball, and he throws you a 94-mile-an-hour fastball up. That's pitching. When you can add and subtract to your fastball, then you're way down the road as far as learning how to pitch.
2 away, and here's Peyton Chatinier, who flew out to left his first trip.
There's the big curveball. Missed a little bit. Kind of flying open just a little bit on his front shoulder.
Just 5 pitches in the inning so far for Holiday, and there's already 2 gone. And Chatinier lines that to left. Richie over, and that's a 6-pitch inning and a 1-2-3 inning for Brian Holiday.
This is going to be a fun guy to watch develop. I think Luke got about 10 years in the big leagues.
1-0 to Richie. Klecker now at 49 pitches, as you can see.
Ooh. Came right back to him.
Ah, yes.
We haven't had a Hunsaker yet, have we? We haven't had an out or confusion.
And that
bounce back.
For those watching, that's a ricochet off the wall, the backstop there, the brick you can see, and back to the catcher who tags out a runner trying to score from third, who's been completely fooled by the ricochet that comes off that brick wall, because as you just noticed, it comes off hard.
Hot. So he's trying to really pitch him hard in right here.
Ritchie hits that hard to second. Chatinier over to first, and there's one out.
And that's a growth sign right there for me, for that hitter. Last time up, he got extended. He hits it out the other way. They turn around. They pound him in. He makes the adjustment inside that at bat. And he hit that ball hard at second baseman. But you've got to be able to pull the ball too, Dave. You can't just try to hit everything the other way.
Here's Tyler Wolford, who struck out his first trip. He was 2 for 4 last night. It's 0-2.
Yeah, he's attacking the hole. He's just going right at him.
It's a 4-run Oklahoma State first. That's the difference so far. 2-2 to Wolford.
Well, he got the hanging curveball. That's normally a pretty good pitch to jump on.
And Wolford strikes out for the second time. There's 2 away.
And again, that's 93 right down the middle. He pitched him pretty tough, that at bat. He went in twice, away twice, and then he had the guts to go right down the middle to get him.
1-0 to Brigham. Struck out his first trip. Looking for his first hit of the series.
Some people would refer to that as trusting your stuff.
Two and one to Brigham.
I know in the big leagues, Dave, they have the iPads in the dugout, and they're able to, after an at-bat, go in and take a look at the pitch pattern. You pay close attention right here. I mean, they're well schooled, and we know that. They're really well coached on the mound at TCU. And you see the ability for these pitchers to go away, in, down the middle.
And Brigham strikes out. That's the 7th strikeout for Cole Klecker.
Because there's so many right-hand pitchers out there.
And Logan Maxwell looks at strike one. He struck out his first trip. He has a streak of 22 consecutive games on base going back into last year. That's out to center. It'll stay in the park for Kroll. One away.
Again, that pitch had direction. It was down and in. He got to it, but he hit it to the big part of the ballpark, and that's still the safest place to pitch.
Well, Holiday retired TCU on 6 pitches, 1, 2, 3 in the third, and it only takes Holiday 2 pitches to get the first out of the 4th. Curtis Burns struck out his first trip, and he looks at strike one.
And we're right in the middle of their batting order, so I really don't think TCU wants to let Brian Holiday go out there and have another 10-pitch inning.
That's chopped to third. It's fair. Wolford makes a play, throws to first. In time, 2 away.
You know, Dave, of all the new rules in baseball, maybe the one that we need to bring to the college game is expansion of the first base bag.
You think so?
Yeah, I mean, it's for the safety of the players. I mean, it's not an expense. Get the big bag and put it in play. That way a first baseman can get away from contact. Tell you what, you get spiked on the ankle, I'll knock you out for a couple of weeks.
0-1 to Peyton Tolley. And it's only 4 pitches needed by Holiday to get the first 2 outs here in the 4th. It's 0-2.
Yeah, he's working that slider down and in, and I think from watching Tolley swing the bat, I think he might be an opposite field power hitter. Ooh, ball is up.
Called strike 3. That's 7 strikeouts for Holiday. And he
becoming, significant to keep an eye on.
Lane Forsythe singled his first trip. That was in the 2nd. And he rips out to 3rd, in and out of the glove of Robinson, but he recovers, makes a play over to 1st. There's 1 out.
I was just going to say, now we just had a six pitch inning. You only have 2 minutes to get on the yard and play the next inning. I don't think Klecker was in the dugout more than maybe 4 minutes. If you're going to nail him, you should nail him right here.
Charlie Carter struck out his first trip. So if you're an Oklahoma State hitter, are you taking here? Are you thinking?
I'm gonna hopefully think he's gonna make a mistake. And there's the fastball right down the middle. So and Charlie being a freshman, I don't think they're going to over finesse him.
It's 0-2 to Carter.
But it all starts with a leadoff guy, Dave. I mean, the leadoff guy, it's if you attack, you got to make sure you go in looking for a pitch, and you got to attack that pitch.
I think Carter stays alive. Charlie Carter defensively has been very good. Josh Holiday has been very pleased with his work behind the plate. He pops that foul out of play. Given the fact that his batting average is low, it tells you just how good he's been defensively, that he is in the lineup on a regular basis.
Yeah, he's only got 26 at-bats. You know what a 4 for 4 would do to that? Jump him up to about 250.
Yeah, it would change everything, wouldn't it?
I mean, and he's kind of rushed into this. Your catcher gets hurt in the second game. This on the pitch count, I don't know. I mean, it's like maybe doesn't like what he's seeing. This is an unusual trip.
1-2 count to Charlie Carter, the 9-hole hitter for Oklahoma State.
If the guy in the bullpen's ready, maybe it's time to just go get him. Something he didn't like.
Would you do that in a situation like that very often?
Oh, if I saw something I didn't like, but if a guy's getting people out, I don't want to mess around with his rhythm. I might wait till the hitter's over with. But he knows him. I mean, he may have seen something right there of concern about his health. Well, there wasn't anything wrong with that fastball. In fact, that might have been his best fastball of the night.
2-2 to Carter. And he grounds that into left field. That's a base hit for Charlie Carter.
Well, I bet you the whole dugout on the left side of the field is standing right now. And I'm not looking down, but young players, when they could do something good like that base hit right there, I mean, they're all into it for him.
Jackson Kroll singled his last at bat in the 2nd, was stranded. Chopped foul.
Now, if there was something that Coach Sarloos didn't like, then after that trip, you'd think that that guy in that bullpen would be, humping it, getting ready. And maybe he is already ready. And no matter what, you want Klecker to get a pitch count up good tonight. He's obviously going to stay in your rotation. But if he has a little struggle going on, he's got to work through it. You don't want to get him out of there and rest him. That's not it. He needs to throw the ball. Whatever's missing, whatever he's not getting to with his stuff, you got to let him work. But he's creeping up on 75 pitches in 4 innings.
2-1 to Kroll with Carter at first. It's 3 balls and a strike. Binge awaiting on deck for Oklahoma State.
You get this guy on with the guys coming up. It'd be nice to run a lefty out there with Binge and Schubert coming. All 4.
So it'll be first and second with 1 out.
I got to believe that's it.
And it is.
A little frustration on him. He wants his lefties on the mound in the game to win the series, which would be tomorrow, provided Oklahoma State can hold on tonight. What a long sentence, huh?
A lot of information. So here's Binge. First and second, 1 out. 0-1. By the way, Ayers' last appearance last Sunday against Oklahoma gave up 2 runs on 2 hits, walked 1, struck out none in 1 inning of work. See Carter at second, Kroll at first with 1 out. Here in the bottom of the 4th, a 4-0 Oklahoma State lead. It's 1-1.
That ball literally disappeared.
And Binge rips that into center, but right at Brunson. There's 2 away.
Yeah, he stung that ball right there. That's a good swing. That was 95, and he squared it up, hit it right at the center fielder. You feel good. You get nothing to show for it, but that you feel good about that at bat.
Now it's Nolan Schubert, who has walked twice so far this evening.
When nothing takes you out of rhythm more as a hitter than to continue to draw walks.
Really?
This is his 3rd at bat, and he hasn't had a chance really to swing the bat yet.
Is that made even worse by the fact that he's only been back a couple of games after missing 3 weeks?
For sure. No doubt about it. Coming off an injury, and an injury that really didn't allow him to do a whole lot of swinging. That's why it's so important, Dave, to have somebody cover you behind you in the batting order. If you're going to pitch around you, that next guy is going to get opportunities.
2-1 to Schubert.
Now with 1st and second, this is a tough guy to pitch around right here.
It's 3-1.
No, he's not going to the middle of the plate. Of course, he does walk 1. He walks 2 for every strikeout. So he's had some issues with throwing strikes.
Carter at second. You see him in your screen. Cole's at first. And Schubert fouls that back. And the count's full, and the runners will take off on this pitch.
And he got the high heater right there. Kind of jammed himself a little bit. That's why you got to get him caught up. You got to get him as many ABs as you can.
The runners go.
Slider in.
And the bases will be loaded with 2 out.
You know, we mentioned it last night, Dave, but there was a time when you can't take that pitch right there. That's a strike. But with umpires being graded and all the analytics telling you whether that was a ball or strike, that was a ball. But that wasn't a bad ball. That was pretty close. If he calls that a strike, he's not going to get in trouble for it. But by calling it a ball, which it shows up, his report that goes back to the umpiring commissioner shows him being very accurate. So in other words, the strike zone's a lot easier to hit with. You know, coaches are like, you know, boy, runs are up. Well, strike zone's better.
It's blocked nicely by Byrne. It's 1-1.
Saved the run right there.
Bases loaded, 2 out. Schubert at first after drawing his 3rd walk of the night. Kroll is at second and Carter's at first. It's 1-2.
Well, he got the high slider. Now you're hoping he throws another one right there. As long as he doesn't throw that one, a ball off the plate away.
Bases loaded, 2 out. And Miola strikes out.
97 up.
He has worked 4 perfect innings for Oklahoma State as TCU sends the 5, 6, and 7 hitters up in the 5th. And that first pitch is in there for strike 1.
He may have had too many beverages and fallen off over the back wall.
Or he had too many beverages and fell asleep. It's 0-2 to Silva.
Or he's not very good at math. You know,
could be any of a plethora of things.
It could be a 7-year-old, and quite frankly, he doesn't like K's because they're like going in different directions.
0-2 to Silva. It's 1-2. The last 2 innings, Holiday has retired TCU 1-2-3 on 6 pitches in the 3rd and 7 pitches in the 4th.
And I'm telling you, I'd like to buy that one back. That last pitch.
2-2.
Wow. I mean, I respect the guy behind the plate calling balls and strikes. And he picked on that spot. I mean, he went at it with 3 different pitches. And so now you're going to get the 3-2 heater.
That's ripped out to left. Ritchie makes the over-the-shoulder grab. 1 away. Hit hard.
Nice play. I mean, that ball's hit hard right at him. No panic. He relaxed. He took his drop step. That buys you time to read the carry of the ball. And he went and got it. I mean, he's getting better every day out there, I tell you that. For a guy that was an infielder. And you know what? He got the 3-2 fastball, and he sat on it and nailed it and didn't hit it out of the yard.
0-1 to Ryder Robinson, looking for his first hit of the series. He was 0 for 4 last night. It's 0-2. Oklahoma State scored all 4 of its runs in the first. The big blow was a 3-run homer by Colin Ritchie.
Now you go for the out right here.
And there's 2 away. And we mentioned Holiday in his outing so far. It technically has not been perfect. TCU had 1 base runner when the Frogs reached on a strikeout and a pass ball. So it's actually not a perfect game, but it's so far a hitless outing for Holiday. Strange that he has not walked anyone or given up a hit, yet the game is not a perfect game. And Cowboys have not made an error, but there's been a pass ball. If you have that on your bingo card, you win big. 0-1 to Brunson.
I was waiting to see where you were going with that one.
2 outs here in the 5th. It's been a very efficient outing so far for Brian Holiday, but that is his trademark.
And he's coming off of Saturday. I think it was like 105, 110 last week.
Called strike 3. 9 strikeouts for Brian Holiday. And TCU does not have a walk. Anthony Silva, who reached in the 2nd on that strikeout pass ball. So Kyle Ayers, the 2nd TCU pitcher to work, took over for starter Cole Klecker in the 4th. Will face Richie to begin the Oklahoma State 5th.
So you throw pitch count out the window. You know, you're into their bullpen. I don't know that they're not going to worry about bringing this guy back again tomorrow. So, you know, you can let this guy go 2-3 innings.
That's grounded up the middle.
Nice play
By Silva, and there's 1 out.
Nice play. So Brian Holiday comes off of 8 innings last Saturday. 90 degrees, you know, no problem whatsoever. And the heck with 110 pitches. So tonight, you got to keep an eye on that. You know, like, do you want to let that become, I mean, if he is going to be your workhorse and knock off, you know, 8 again, you still got to keep an eye on pitch count. A little chillier tonight than it was last Saturday.
Yes. About 60 degrees. In fact, I had a chance to talk to Brian Holiday in the dugout this afternoon, and that's one thing I asked him about. I said, how has it been transitioning to pitching in colder weather? And he said, well, I have to really make sure that I get warmed up and stretched out. Then once I get started, it's fine. The thing that has concerned him the most is just making sure he's good and stretched.
Yeah.
Boy, he talked about how much he absolutely loves being at Oklahoma State. I spent maybe 5 or 10 minutes with him, and I was just so impressed by his demeanor, his respect. Just, you've talked a lot about how much you've enjoyed being around him, and after my time with him today, as it's 2-2 to Wolford, I'm right there with you.
You know, some guys are really good players. Some guys are really good pitchers. He is a special kid to go along with his ability to play the game of baseball.
And Wolford lines that into center. That's a 1-out single. The 7th hit of the night.
He needed that base hit right there. See, no attempt to hit a home run right there. Just go out and reach it and put it in play. Let the barrel work.
So now it's Colin Brigham.
Same thing right here, Dave. They got the same issues going on right here. Take a line drive into a gap right here.
Brigham leads the team with 5 home runs on the year. Hitting with Wolford at first, 1 out, bottom of the 5th. Wolford did steal a base last night.
Yeah, not looking for running right here. I don't know that unless you're going to play a little hit and run. There it is.
It's 1-1.
Now that's hit and run. That's not run and hit.
So what's the difference for people that don't understand?
Okay, here's the difference. Hit and run, you're running no matter what. As soon as the pitcher throws it. Run and hit, you're stealing, and it's your option to hit. You give the hitter the option. Most guys, if they see it out of the corner of their eye, they'll take a pitch. But the hit and run, it's good. It's played mostly when the hitter has the count. 2-0, 3-1. You know, times when pitchers have to throw a strike. Because the probability of contact is high.
1-2 to Brigham with Wolford at first. 4-7-0 for Oklahoma State. TCU with all zeros as we play in the bottom of the 5th.
Again, now you score 4 in the first, Dave. Now you're looking at 4 innings in a row without scoring a run. It's time to play a little baseball here. You know, get away from station to station and run somebody. I mean, all you're going to do is speed the pace up, which Brian Holiday will really enjoy. You know, we saw last night that pace was a pitcher's pace all night, and both guys pitched their best games of the year.
That's ripped foul, first base side by Brigham. Stays 1-2.
Keep the music turned down right here. Nice relaxed stroke. Slow it down.
And Brigham strikes out for the 3rd time.
And then a guy throws you a 98 mile an hour fastball. It's pretty hard to hit 98 without getting something started, but he just punched him right there. That's, for one thing, you're not going to hit that no matter what. But when it's 98 and above your hands, see you later.
So 2 out for Lane Forsythe. You know, this is going to sound a bit odd, but this is an important at bat. Fouls it away. It's 0-1 because should he get on, Charlie Carter would hit. He has a base hit tonight. But then what it sets up is the top of the order hitting for you in the 6th to start the inning.
Yeah, you'd like to turn it over right here.
So one of those small things that's probably more important than you might think. 0-1 to Forsythe.
And we'll probably take the running game out right here. You don't want to run. You don't want to run into the fact that your next inning you could have your 8 and 9 hole hitters coming up. You know, let your 8 hole hitter hit right here, and if Forsythe can turn it over, it's a great at bat. Get to the 9 hole.
2-1 to Forsythe.
I'll tell you one thing. This guy's got an electric arm. I mean, what are you doing seeing an arm like this in a college bullpen?
No kidding.
I mean, what's going on here?
Forsythe.
He just pounding that thing in.
Lifts that into shallow right. And Myers makes the play. Sam Myers leading off for TCU, and he looks at strike 1.
So you see the knuckle right there. See it early. Curveball, strike.
That's chopped foul down the right field line. 0-2. The last 3 innings, Holiday has retired TCU 1, 2, 3 on a total of 20 pitches.
That's pitching.
6 in the 3rd, 7 in the 4th, and 13 in the 5th. He's ahead 0-2 to Myers to start the 6th. That's grounded to 2nd. Viola to 1st, and there's 1 away.
3 pitch out. That's the way they wrote the book on pitching. And I've said and made comparisons, Dave, that Brian Holiday is as close to a Tom Seaver as I've seen in recent years. He's not that 6'5" guy. He's not throwing 97, 98 like their guy is. But he's 93, 94. When he needs it, he's shown a 95. So you know in that other dugout, he can get it in on you. He can get it up on you. But boy, the other stuff, the command of it, to be a 4-pitch pitcher, and he's only 5'11". And some people will sit there and say, he's only 5'11". I don't know. Well, I got news for you. Go look and see how many games Tom Seaver won.
It's 1-2 to Bowen. Well, here's the thing that's been a theme with Holiday. He works ahead in the count. He has thrown strikes on the first pitch in 16 of 18 situations tonight. 16 of 18 hitters. 1-2. Swing and a miss. 2 away.
And I'll give you a little more insight on this guy, all right? because I had him for a couple summers, and I got to watch him pitch when it was semi-relaxed, but semi-pressure-packed for him, because he was a junior college guy pitching against Division I players in Cape Cod. You know what? He knows how to do this by himself. I mean, he knows how to set hitters up. He pays attention. He finds their holes, and he pitches to it. He's not only a pitcher. He's a student.
It's like a scientist.
It's important to him. I mean, they're rare. Kids like this are rare.
0-1 to Chatagnier. Now 1-1.
Yeah, and I teased him the first summer I had him, because of the late kick, and I said, who taught you that late kick? And he goes, well, I've been doing it I said, well, I was going to tell you something. Whoever did, tell him I said, great job, because he's got deception. And right-hand pitchers, some people say they're a dime a dozen. Not a guy that can do what he does. And that high late kick, a lot of hitters, they don't see the ball. They don't find it early. That's a strike. And he's deserved that pitch.
2-2 to Chatagnier with 2 out, bases empty in the 6th.
Chatagner's had 2 good at-bats against him right here.
And he strikes him out.
Yeah, Weatherholt's so dedicated to the game. And he's going to have to beat the odds. He's a little guy. But he can hit and he can run. And he's one of those team guys that everybody loves. That's an impressive list for the Big 12.
0-1 to Charlie Carter. Singled in the 4th, his last at bat. He's leading off the Cowboys' 6th. All 4 Cowboy runs came in the 1st. 1-1 to Carter. Kyle Ayers now with an inning and 2/3 of scoreless relief after taking over for Cole Klecker. That bounced about 6 feet in front of home plate. It's 2-1.
We had a combined no-hitter Friday night in the conference. OU no-hit West Virginia.
Of course, last year Oklahoma State had no hitters thrown in consecutive games early in the non-conference schedule. Two balls and 2 strikes to Carter. He fouls that away. So, boy, you think about it now, and we'll see how this pans out the last 3 innings, but goodness, you think about the 2 pitching performances last night by Peyton Tolle, who threw a complete game, struck out 15. Garcia for Oklahoma State in his start, 7 innings, 1 unearned run. Now Holiday tonight has thrown 6 no-hit innings in the Oklahoma State start. By the way, the count now full to Carter.
Well, Kirk Saarloos has to be tickled to death with what Ayers is doing right here.
And Carter strikes out, 1 away.
That's like, I'm going to throw you a fastball. Are you ready? Are you ready? Okay, here it comes. And you got no shot. At 97, after throwing a 97 up in your face, and then he comes down, plays with your eyes, and if you're going to win regional tournaments, Dave, you got to have pitching depth. And that's the word that I got on TCU coming into this series. This is one of the reasons why. And this guy's pitching on the wrong side of the scoreboard. So, and toting a, 7 ERA, 6.5 ERA with that kind of arm.
One 1-0 to Jackson Kroll. He's walked, singled, struck out.
What do they call it? Country hardball. That's what he's doing right now, and he's got twilight. If he's got a slider, he can throw it right now. I mean, nobody will even see it.
It's 3-0 to Kroll.
A little bit of it's like a fastball derby right here. I thought he's going to maybe hit 100. 96. I hope he didn't hurt himself.
Oh, boy.
Well, the way he's walking around and the way he was pumping the fastball pitch after pitch, this kind of sickens me. Sometimes it's kind of fun to watch. Yeah, there's something. Oh, boy. I hope you're all right, kid. That falling off on the side of your foot right there.
Hampton was first team All Big 12 a year ago, and now it's 3-2 to Kroll. He inherited a 3-1 count. Base is empty, one out here in the sixth. 4-0 Oklahoma State. And Kroll hammers that into left center, and that's down for extra bases. Kroll into second with a one-out double.
And again, he inherits a 3-1 count, so he throws a breaking ball, and then he turns around and throws a slider. And Kroll just really good hitting. He didn't try to pull it. Hit it the other way. It's good hitting.
So here's Carson Benj. Of course, Hampton was a starter at West Virginia. 41 of his 45 appearances were starts. 3 of his first 4 appearances this year were starts. In fact, his first 3 were starts. He worked out of the bullpen his last outing at UT Arlington. Gave up 3 runs in an inning. He's working in relief tonight. He's ahead of Carson Benj, 0-1. 1-1.
Well, he's pitched a bunch of innings, I'll tell you that. And put him in a bullpen, you'll get.
It's lined to left to Maxwell. There's 2 away.
You'll get a guy that can get ready in a hurry and throw strikes.
So this becomes an extended break for Brian Holiday, the Cowboys starter. Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Well, I mean, I'm sure he loved the pace of the game. And, like I said, when a guy gets hurt, you have all the time you want on the mound to get ready to start the inning. But Benny was down there playing catch. I was watching him. And then when he got out to the mound, he only threw about 6 pitches and said, let's go. So maybe not as much as it could have.
First pitch in there to Schubert at 72 miles an hour.
That's a curveball. That's what he'll do. He'll set you up for a hard running slider, and you'll hit it into an out, and or you hit it into a gap.
1-1 to Schubert, who has walked 3 times.
That's 88 in. That's to keep you honest. See, then you start looking for the breaking stuff, because that's what the book says. The scouting report says he's going to throw you a lot of breaking balls. Well, then he throws 88, 89 right by you.
And Schubert strikes out. So good work by Ben Hampton out of the bullpen for TCU to retire 6 no-hit innings so far. And the first pitch.
Now, you're not supposed to use that word. No hit.
What am I supposed to say?
6 scoreless innings.
Maxwell trying to keep his on-base streak alive. It stands at 22 games. That's grounded to short. Forsythe will have to hurry. He'll eat it. There goes the no-hitter. An infield single ends it against a shift.
The nightmare, the shift. And the guy dribbles one right to the shortstop, and instead he gets a base hit.
That's my fault. It's on me. I'm the one that said it.
Well, yeah. Okay. You got to wear that. Give an error to the analytics. It's like, okay, how does that happen? Well, we got way too much information.
So the first hit for TCU tonight is an infield single by Maxwell to lead off the 7th. And first pitch to Byrne misses. I'm going to go back to the analytics here in a moment. I'm just curious what you think on sort of an angle to that. So a guy is just mowing guys down like Holiday is doing. Guys are not making good contact. The at-bats are not very good. If that's going on, do you just say, forget the analytics and let's just go?
Well, you know, Dave, I think analytics are fine. I mean, if you have enough history on a hitter that you think you can literally play pull or play oppo, you know, shifter in first, that's okay. There's a place for that. But got to take into consideration the guy on the mound a little bit more in college than you do in pro ball. Pro ball, they hand you that info and you pitch to it. If they're going to shift, now of course they've taken that over shifting out in the big leagues. But I still think that I'm going to pitch. I'm going to pitch to my strength. I'm not going to over pitch to the weakness. This guy's got a shutout going. Play straight up.
So that's what you're thinking.
Throw your best stuff to the plate. If he dribbles it and he gets that base hit, fine. But not by having three infielders on the other side of the infield and nobody there on a routine ground ball. Now, can you coordinate a scouting report, which is analytics,
right,
with the guy on the mound? That takes time. Do you have that much time in college to do that? And that's more of a question. Pro ball, they do.
That gets away from Carter. And down to second goes Maxwell, and the count's full with nobody out in the seventh.
Major league pitchers, they know what day they're pitching. They know what team they're pitching against. And they get a report that they can study, look at it, watch it on film, whatever. I mean, there's a lot of money in baseball being spent on analytics.
4-0 Oklahoma State, top 7. And there's a strikeout, number 12 for Holiday, and there's one out.
Now this strikeout's because of the good curveball. That's a slider. That's not the curve. And he's mad at that ball for sliding. And he kind of told the ball too.
So Holiday with a career high total in strikeouts. There's Peyton Tolley, who has struck out twice. And once again, the first pitch in there for a strike by Holiday. I think it's something now in the range of 20 of 22 hitters that he's thrown a first pitch strike.
Well, that's the book of pitching.
It's 0-2.
And that's a changeup. I got to call him the big guy. The big guy just broke out his changeup. That might be the second changeup tonight.
And Tolley strikes out for the third time. Make it 13 strikeouts for Holiday, and there's two away.
Back-to-back changeups after throwing maybe one or two all night. Nope, take that back. That's a slider. Little bump in it.
So 2 out, and Anthony Silva with Maxwell at second, who reached on an infield hit. That's bunted foul. Well, why not? The Cowboys misplayed 2 consecutive bunts last night that led to TCU's only run, which was unearned. High throws by both the starting pitcher Garcia and the third baseman Wolford created that one run for the Frogs, and that's all they needed because Peyton Tolley was fabulous.
See, right there, I disagree with that. This is your 5-hole hitter. You got a guy in scoring position and gave up a strike by trying to bunt.
And that's into right center field, and that put TCU on the board. Maxwell scores easily, and into second with an RBI double is Anthony Silva. It's 4-1.
Yeah, that's fastball got too much of the plate up, and that's what a hitter's supposed to do right there. And now you can take that dribbler and erase it. No error to the analytics.
Correct.
Even though you can't take that run off the board.
So it's Ryder Robinson with 2 out. That's high into center. And Kroll makes the play, and that ends the 7th. But TCU will start things for the Cowboys in the 7th against Benthampton, who entered in the last inning after Kyle Ayers was injured.
And Kyle, we're pulling for you, kid. We're hoping you didn't blow that elbow out.
Oh, no kidding. Without a doubt.
Because that was an impressive arm.
Yes, it was.
Eye-opening. And you know, most of the time, Dave, it's like when somebody's throwing hard like that, they'll throw a slider, and that's when they pop it. It was a fastball. He hurt his arm on a fastball. So no pointing the finger at anybody. It just happened.
So it's usually on a slider. Interesting.
It's normally on slider. After you've thrown a bunch of fastballs,
okay,
then you grind a slider and boom.
2-1 to Miola. That's lined, sinking into center, and that's a leadoff single for Miola. Second hit of the night, and hit number 8 for Oklahoma State.
Hey, you got to take those right there. That's the beauty of being strong. This ball gets in on his hands. He just muscled it into center field. Center fielder's playing straight up. And a guy that's got opposite field home run power, maybe a shade deep, so he gets the base hit to center. Now you got a home run guy here. You want to get that run back. You want to get that run real fast. Do you bunt a guy that's already hit a dinger tonight? Double play ball.
Out at second, high throw to first,
Safe.
and Richie beats it out.
Good.
Or do we have interference? We do. We have interference on the play on the base runner Miola, so it will be a double play.
Well, the monitor's going to tell us because he went right into the bag. I mean, I don't know where he's supposed to go.
Let's look. Here we go.
He went right into the bag. I mean, the second baseman, he didn't clear the bag. I mean, he just stood. He stood right there.
Well, the play's confirmed. Are you surprised?
Well, I'm surprised. Yeah. Again, this is to cover your rear end. I mean, it's like, we're not going to change it. We've already made this call. We don't want to get, you're going to get one coach mad at the other or the other. It's easy to hang in there and just say, ride it. I mean, Aiden Miola can't peel off and go into right center field. He has to go into second base. You didn't see him have to reach back with his hand. He went both feet into the bag.
0-1 to Wolford. (4-1) Oklahoma State. Base is empty now, 2 out after that interference call that finished off the double play. And Wolford lifts that out into left, but on the warning track, Maxwell makes a play, and that ends the 7th. In the 2nd, Brunson will lead off for TCU. It's 1-0.
I'd say after this inning, you got to get somebody going. He's going to creep up on 100 pitches. I know last night we watched a guy go 9, and it was beautiful.
It's 1-1.
But you're working with a 3-run lead in a game you got to win in order to win the series. So you got to get somebody. And I don't know that you save anybody. I think you got to get somebody ready to go.
That's into left field, and that's a leadoff single for Brunson.
Don't look at the scoreboard. Don't. Hey, 1 run, 2 hits. He's good. He's good. No, he's 90 pitches in. And Brian Holiday's not going to call you out and say I'm done. So it's going to be I'm good. Give me the ball.
It's fouled away by Myers. Last Saturday, Holiday worked 8 innings through 112 pitches. But Oklahoma State lost that game in the bottom of the 9th.
Well, you surrendered the game after 8. Then all you do is sit around and second guess. Should have let him in. Should have let him go another inning. Well, no. Sometimes you got to make a decision based on what's the stuff look like. Is there a drop in velocity? Is the breaking ball not biting?
What are you seeing?
Then
what are you
have
seeing
a
here?
health issue. You always got to. It's early in the season. You're not even midway yet.
That's into left field. That's a base hit. First and second, nobody out for TCU here in the 8th. And the tying run will come to the plate.
Now you're in a situation where you got to play percentages. Where are they in the batting order? Idea right now is like, is his stuff still better than the 2 guys I got in my bullpen? I mean, the bullpen's loaded. You see their batting order, okay? Force them into going to the bench. But more importantly, right here, you don't let them run at you against an arm that could be wearing down. Go to something fresh.
Carson Bowen squares, pulls it back. It's 1-0.
And they, if they're going to bunt here, all they're trying to do is just get back in the game. It means they're content with going to 4-3 in the 9th.
First and second, nobody out in the 8th for TCU. That's butted foul, 1-1.
To be very honest with you, I'm surprised they're bunting right here. I mean, if they're down 2, there's a no-brainer. But you're going to give up an out right here. And I think if I had a left-hand hitter on the bench, I'd have hit for the 9-hole if I don't like it.
It's bunted to third to Wolford. Runners advance at second and third with 1 out.
Now you're at the top of the order. Again, give some thought to playing the percentages. Maybe it's a 1-for-1. Maybe you bring a lefty in right here to face a left-hander.
Well, and Chatagnier, while he's 0 for 3, has hit the ball hard twice.
He's had good at-bats.
Off of Holiday.
Yeah, I'm changing the look right here. Then you got a lefty, righty, lefty sandwich. Tolley is probably the guy they pinch hit for in the 4-hole.
Second and third, 1 out. It's fouled away by Chatagnier.
I only say that because yesterday he didn't face the left-hander at all. So you bring a lefty in and you got 1 up. You're going to force him into going to a pinch hitter in the 4-hole. More than likely, this will be his last hitter.
Chatagnier grounds out to third. Brunson scores. Chatagnier out at first. It's a 4-2 game on the RBI ground out. 2 outs.
That's a lot of respect for your starting pitcher right there. He's being given this opportunity because of his personality.
So now it's Logan Maxwell with 2 out. He had the first hit of the game for TCU in the 7th.
Right now with a left-hander up, I'm making my move. If I'm making my move, I'm making it right here. And with that, I'll quit coaching. I'll quit managing. So
Myers at second, 2 out, tying run at the plate, and that is hit down the left field line, heading toward the stands, and it's into the stands. Foul, 0-1. Nice grab by a fan there.
he had it all the way.
He did. And camouflage to boot.
Did he get it on the fly or did he get it on a bounce?
I missed it.
Because if it's on the fly, that's a nice play. If it's one bounce, if it's on the bounce.
All right, let's see. Let's give the credit.
We'll send him a Three Musketeer. Oh, definitely. That's an ice cream sandwich.
Oh my gosh.
Nice hands.
0-1. Fouled away. 0-2.
Now the problem is he got a ball from the other team. He probably doesn't even know who the hitter is, and he's like, "What am I going to do with this ball, honey?" And she's saying, "I don't care what you do with it. Just don't let it hit me."
2 out. Myers at second. Maxwell the tying run at the plate, and he struck him out. Need to throw to first to end it, and that happens. Not a 60% chance of rain tomorrow, but hopefully it will hold off until later in the day. So Brigham has struck out 3 times. He is looking for his first hit in the series. He's 0 for 7. First pitch misses from Hampton.
Ooh, that's a good pitch. He dropped that one in there.
It's 1-1.
Yeah, if I'm Oklahoma State, I'm going to play for a run here. If I get a runner on, I'm going to try to get me one. And that's not playing scared. That's just playing smart.
Sure. 2-2. That's a big difference between a 2-run lead and a 3-run lead.
And okay, we're thinking because of the first 21 games that Gabe Davis is the guy that you're going to see in the 9th inning. Well, he's not even warming up. So
what's that tell you?
It tells you that Gabe Davis is probably your starter tomorrow. So get another run for whoever's going to come in the 9th. I mean, you're pitching at home. You got a 2-run spread.
And Brigham strikes out for the 4th time. 1 away. 1 for 3. He'll bat with the bases empty. 1 out in the 8th. 4-2 Oklahoma State lead.
So 93 up. I mean, why not break a guy in right here? You got the 8-9 hole hitter. Neither of them are home run guys.
Forsythe rips that into center, and that's a 1-out single. 2nd hit of the night for the Mississippi State transfer, Lane Forsythe.
Nice piece of hitting right there. That's just starting to get to know who you are. You know, you don't need to keep up with all the guys that like to just have fun in batting practice by hitting balls out of the yard. That's a good piece of hitting right there. Squared it up. Now steal a base.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, what's your play here with Carter?
No doubt about it. I'm stealing. I'm running.
Carter
I'm going to give Carter a chance to knock him in, too.
Carter does have a base hit tonight, but he's hitting just over 100. It's 1-0 to him.
Now you've seen him. Somebody with a stopwatch is relaying the delivery to the plate. Should have mine in my hand, but I don't. But a little bit of extra pump right here on the mound. And again, he's only been out there for an inning and 2/3 all year.
There goes the runner at first. A swing and a miss. The throw down to second is not in time. That's
well, the umpire looked like he was looking for something.
At 6 tries.
It's like he was safe, as obvious as a nose on my face. What was he looking for? Nice job by the catcher to try, but Chizo is.
I think he wanted to see if his foot came off.
Well, I mean, what are you supposed to do? I mean, those are the things that they just started using because of the camera angles that are available. You go in, like Miola stayed down, went in, and he gets a double play call on him.
So it's 1-1 to Carter. It's 1-2. That takes the double play out of the equation as well.
Exactly. It gives the kid a chance right here to knock in a big run. Another growth opportunity right here.
One out. That's in the dirt.
Oh, that's where that extra 90 feet right there is so important. You know, Dave, catchers throw people out, what, about 20% of the time? And that's catching it cleanly and coming out throwing. If you're just on your toes when the ball goes in the dirt, that ball went 8 feet, 6-8 feet to, out of the batter's box. Catchers can't pick it up and throw you out. Not if you take off on the read.
3-2 to Carter.
93.
Carter gets on base. Be honest, I think that's a pretty big mistake.
Yeah.
On the part of Jack
I want
Traeger.
I want a bloop single to right field. Right over the second baseman's head. Good at bat, kid.
And it's a walk. It's first and second, one out. So Traeger walks the 9-hole. Charlie Carter, who's hitting 103. It's first and second, one out.
Yeah, not a good sign, and that's okay. We got a guy in scoring position. You're not going to just throw the fastball up there and let him tee off.
2 hits last night when he gained the start in center field, hitting with runners at first and second, and one out in the 8th.
Pretty good slider. 86.
See, Forsythe at second. Carter's at first after coaxing a walk.
That's pretty good fastball, too. Well located fastball. 90 mile an hour. Good arm slot. Easy arm action.
Two and one to Earhart.
Well, now you got the hitter's count. This is what you're looking for right here. Come off the bench. You've seen his stuff. Now you just got to see a strike.
Two balls, one strike. First and second, one out. Earhart grounds that's through the hole into left field for a base hit. Forsythe around third. He'll score. It's an RBI pitch single for Zach Earhart. It's 5-2 Oklahoma State.
Big move. Big hit. Gets it in. And he got it before it got in on him. Ground ball base hit. That's where speed comes in. Forsythe makes it look easy. Now, Dave, you got a little bit more breathing room in your bullpen. You know, with nobody out, nobody up, I'm thinking, has he already decided he's going to give Brian Holiday a chance to go 9 innings?
Holiday, I believe, at 97 pitches. 1-0 to Carson Bench. Doubled and scored in the first. First and second, one out. A run home here in the 8th. It's 2-0.
Isn't it funny how the momentum, you felt like TCU had gained it in the 8th. You know, and to the point where there's a move coming out of the bullpen, and you're sitting there thinking, well, they got the momentum right here. Make the right move, and then boom, Oklahoma State turns around, scores. Now the momentum's on the other side, and it makes that pitching decision a whole lot easier. And a base hit right here makes it a no-brainer.
Walk to Charlie Carter was huge.
Yeah, it was. And I'm sure the kid will be told that.
Brigham started the inning by striking out. That's a 4-pitch walk for Bench, and the bases will be loaded with one out for Nolan Schubert.
And by going down staff with his left-hander instead of going to the top of his bullpen, going to give Oklahoma State a chance to blow this thing wide open right here.
So as I mentioned, Brigham struck out to begin the inning. Then Lane Forsythe with a single to center. He stole second, which was also significant. Then on a full count pitch, Charlie Carter, who's in the 9-hole hitting only 103, drew a full count walk from Traeger. Then a pinch single by Zach Earhart, scored Forsythe, and now the bases are loaded after a walk to Bench with one out. It's 0-1 to Nolan Schubert, freshman All-American a year ago.
It's a 93 mile an hour fastball down and away. Good pitch. Good lead pitch for the lefty.
There you see the bases loaded. Carter at third, Earhart at second, and Benj at first. And a run home in the inning. An important insurance run for Oklahoma State. Schubert could blow it wide open. It's 1-2.
Wonder what that was all about.
Bases loaded, 1 out. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Schubert. Called strike 3, and there's 2 away.
Up and in. Yeah, caught the plate. Good pitch, good call.
So here's Aiden Miola.
I think he wanted something out away from him to go into left center with it.
Miola has a pair of singles. Played at the Cowboys' first run with an RBI single in the first. One of the 4 Cowboy runs in the opening inning. The base is loaded with 2 out here and a run home here in the 8th. Miola, the Cowboys' leading hitter. That's grounded foul, third base side.
He was on it. That's what that little life at home plate's all about. That ball had good run on it. Aiden was on it. It just kind of ran down his barrel a little bit. I'm glad he hit it foul. Wow.
2-1 to Miola.
Another good pitch to hit right here. It's the beauty of hitting with the bases loaded. The guy on the mound has to throw the ball over the plate.
It's 3-1. Cowboys have already picked up a couple of crucial walks in this inning, and now Hoover's in danger of walking in a Cowboy run. Here's the 3-1. That's ball 4, and it's an RBI walk for Miola as Carter comes in to score. It's 6-2.
Another big run right there. That solidifies your pitching decision, and now you got breathing room.
So bases loaded, 2 out for Colin Ritchie. Boy, and you go back to the stolen base by Forsythe after he singled, and the full count rather, walk issued to Charlie Carter in the 9-hole. That engineered everything, got everything started.
Small things become so big in baseball. It's hard to score a lot of runs, Dave, without walks. Walks are a part of it.
1-1 to Ritchie. Ritchie with the big blow tonight, a 3-run homer in the first.
I love the way this guy just stays in on left-handers. No pull off at all, no fear.
That's chopped to first. And Bowen makes a play, and that ends the 8th. But Oklahoma State adds 2. The Cowboys carry a 6.
With that pitch count right now, Dave, you just try to go out there and fill that strike zone up.
First pitch in there to Curtis Byrne.
And you expect them to take right here.
It's 0-2.
Now there's a slider. He got up underneath it. Not a good signal.
Okay. Duly noted. That's popped up in the infield. And there's one away as Viola makes a play.
We still got a little wind up there, Dave. I mean, that ball is easy out as you'd think. Second baseman came all the way in, took it away from the first baseman, so.
So Peyton Tolley, 0 for 3 tonight, struck out 3 times, will hit with the bases empty and 1 out in the 9th. That's fouled away. And once again, Holiday delivers a first pitch strike.
90-mile-an-hour fastball, still well located. I think they've been pitching on his hands and setting him up for breaking balls down.
Here's the 1-1. 1-2.
Slider in on the hands.
One out, bases empty. 6-2 Oklahoma State in the 9th. And he hit him.
Well, he pulled that slider about 1.5 feet in.
So here's Anthony Silva. He'll bat with 1 out. A pinch runner coming in for TCU. Micah Kendrick will run for Peyton Tolley.
I think they only got one guy with at-bats on the bench is Boyers. So they're not going to take any of the next 3 people out. So it's your call on which way you want to go. You want to play the percentages or hope that Brian gets a ground ball right towards one of the infielders, turn the double play and go home.
6-2 Oklahoma State, 1 out in the 9th. 1-0. That's grounded to second. Nice play by Viola. Out at first. 2 away. Down to second goes Kendrick.
You know, we're kind of lucky to get 1 on this because we had a little bit of overshift again, and that ball's hit right to the second base slot, and Viola goes over and makes a great play, which you'd almost expect this time of the ball game. That's just an athletic play by Aiden.
So here's Ryder Robinson. 0 for 7 in the series. Last hope for TCU. 0-1 as he fouls it to the TCU dugout. Kendricks at second. Holiday is 1 out away from pitching Oklahoma State's first complete game of the season.
Curveball up, 74.
1 ball, 1 strike. It's 1-2. That ball gets away from Carter. Kendrick goes to third. It's 1-2. Two outs. The pitch. 2-2. This low.
Yeah, he's throwing the slider in the dirt looking for a strikeout. And Chard did a nice job of blocking it. Of course, he got 2 of them back to back. Now you're going to probably see a fastball in on the hands.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. That's a number. It's foul. Here's another 2-2 pitch with 2 out in the 9th. And that's hammered out to right. But into the glove of Binge, and Oklahoma State wins it. 6-2, a complete game for Brian Holiday.
Yo, let's take a moment to appreciate the ones who heal us when we're not feeling great. They're the ones in white coats with stethoscopes, saving lives, giving hope, never losing scope. From the ER to the operating room, they battle illness, dispelling gloom. With steady hands and hearts of gold, they navigate the chaos, bold and cold. They're the healers, the guardians of health. In the face of adversity, they stand with stealth. With knowledge and skill, they fight the fight, keeping us strong in the darkest night. In the midst of pain, they bring relief with compassion and care beyond belief. They listen to our woes with empathy, prescribing remedies, setting us free. From pediatric wards to geriatric care, they show compassion, always there. With expertise and dedication, they strive to keep us healthy, to keep us alive. They're the healers, the guardians of health. In the face of adversity, they stand with stealth. With knowledge and skill, they fight the fight, keeping us strong in the darkest night. So here's to the doctors, the unsung heroes, whose hands hold lives like precious kilos. In the symphony of healing, they play a part, mending bodies and souls with love and art.